instance, human design and gene keys, couldn't be what they are without having the foundation of astrology that they're built on. I do and I have an interest in both of those as well. I do wish that more people would, it's kind of like, if you're going to study a subject, for instance, my background's in philosophy, you go back to ancient philosophy first and you kind of start there. And so in my mind, I think that, utilizing things like human design and gene keys can be amazing. And I think for the average person to get insight from it is totally great, but I do think that to go deeper, you want to go back to the source, right? And I do feel like astrology has that in a way that some of these newer modalities, though they are based on and integrate older disciplines, that they don't necessarily have. But I think that any of them, if they're useful to you, if they can create context and insight and allow you to have a better understanding of the archetypal dynamics at work in any given moment, I think they're incredibly useful. I don't know that astrology needs to be rebranded. I just think people are not as aware of the many applications of it. I think most people talk about astrology like, reading your horoscope for the day, or this person is a good match for me, or whatever. But the way I'm using astrology now, the way I practice it, is how astrology was used initially, right? It was astrology was used as support for the leaders of a nation to make choices about going into war, right. Or it was actually dealing with much larger scale decisions than, is this the right partner for me or not?
It's pretty large scale, though.
I think we're returning to that way of utilizing it, but now it's available like in a very Aquarian way, that we can use it as a tool for liberation and sovereignty for the common person, as opposed to just for, the kings and queens. So, but I don't know that I think it needs to be rebranded. I think that, that it is already more mainstream. I mean, right now the popularity of astrology has skyrocketed in ways that it was, and this is very much the millennial generation that has created a resurgence around astrology. And I think that it is going to continue to be, welcomed into more and more spaces, just like psychedelics, in ways that, it hasn't been up until this time. But I don't feel like it needs to be sold differently or anything like that.